taking his man and just shoving him right out of the way, holding his ground, and then getting right in there on the tackle.
Michael Lynch needs to play good football game tonight, Jim. He is a leader of this team. He has Division I size and ability, and he needs to make plays like that to be, if nothing else, an emotional leader for this football team. 3rd and 7 face now for Bernard, who now goes to the shotgun. Bernhard looking for the screen, and it's knocked up in the air and nearly intercepted by number 42, Brian Rotkowski.
I'd say that time too much of a telegraph situation there by the quarterback, Mr. Bernhard there. He just looking in that direction too far, and Emmaus was just sitting back there waiting for it and almost intercepted it.
Micah Minnick will drop back in punt formation. And number 33, Sean Parr, stands at his own 45. Emmaus almost gets a block. Also deep is number 32, Jake Weeder. He fields that, so Emmaus will have very good field position. They'll start from about midfield. Hakeem Adams, the special team stop. Tom Surface.
Taking a look at this punt again, he just missed it, jumped a little bit too early probably. When he went to lay himself out, it went right through his hands and maybe had a little bit, about a second later, might have had a block on his hands. Tim
Hewell nearly coming up with that block. Frazier, the quarterback, hands to the second back through. And this is Matt Ernie. Look at the balance by number 10 as he picks up nearly 10 yards. Got to about the 40, tackled by Ryan Fay.
But what you're going to see there too, Mike, is a real good example of some bad tackling. You saw at least three people I counted had a shot at him right here as you go and you see it come in here. Here's one right here, and you're going to see one on the outside again. And there's too much tackling up top. You got to get down low. He's finally brought down by number 66. But the situation is, by the time that was there, the damage was done, and Ryan Fay had to be the last guy there to get him down.
Kevin Ronald's very concerned in pregame how his team would react after an emotional week game with crosstown rival Central Catholic. Off to a slow start here tonight. Beers the carry, gets spun around, only needed a yard, however, and picks up a first down.
That time Hakeem Adams did make a real nice stop. I think he was trying to make up for what he did on that last play. As you saw, he made a great hit in there, but wasn't enough to stop that first down yardage.
Gomer and Adams combining to make the stop.
See right here, he's coming in from the side, and that time he did a nice job of getting low, wrapping up, getting his arms around down below, but the damage had already been done.
Ernie is the lone back behind quarterback sophomore Brian Frazier. This looks like a motion against Emmaus.
I think number 73, Rob Lynch, pulled up a little bit.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. 5 yards. First down.
Rob Lynch, the younger brother to Michael, only a sophomore, 6 foot 240. I'll tell you one thing, Jim Wills, I'd rather buy those guys clothes than feed them, that's for sure. 240 and a sophomore, 275 and a senior. Probably have a healthy appetite, those two guys.
There's one thing they're not late for in that house is dinner.
Well, you're going to get shut out. Ernie, the carry, gets the 5 back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. Brought down by Ryan Kasich.
You see Ernie there a little off to the right side a little bit, but then doesn't get that block on the corner. And Kasich has a good grip on him, brings him down.
Ernie, 5 carries, 28 yards, still 5:05 to go first quarter. First back through is Beers, and he has running room. Beers is to the 20 and bulls his way to the 15. Emmaus challenging again. Brought down by Kasich again.
Okay, what happens here is a situation where they're running in place when you'll see the pull right here, but the situation is the motion is confusing Allen a little bit, and then they just give that quick hitter inside, and he has a lot of nice blockers in front of him. Number 74 being the best one right there, Brad Horn, and he did a nice job opening up a big hole for him.
24 yards on the pick at Horn, on the pickup. Horn, a terrific seal on the inside. Beers again. Positive yards on first down as he is inside the Canary 10.
they've seemed to found a likeness on that right side of the defense, excuse me, on the right side of the offensive line, Mike, and they've been pounding that right side most of the time, going away from a little bit more of the speed. You'll see Ortiz was in the backfield there, number 9, real early, but that didn't have anything to do with it because of that fact of going through the right side and getting a positive gain out of it.
Kasich again the stop for the Canaries. 46 in uniform for the Canary in blue. Just 10 seniors and penalty markers, and this looks like movement again against the Emmaus offense. However, tonight they have been able to overcome those mistakes. Already have 7, leading in the ball game 7-0.
On the offense. 5-yard penalty.
The tight end moving a little bit right there gives him a 5-yard penalty, but you're right, Mike, they've come back from those miscues and done some good things, so it'll be interesting to see how they respond to this one.
Yeah, it's a pattern I'm sure the coaching staff would not like to see continue. Looking to add to a 7-0 lead, off to a good start. Second straight week Emmaus playing here at J. Bernie Crum Stadium. Handoff on the sweep to number 12, Andrew Fick, and Fick is in for 6 more, and Emmaus leads 13-0.
And once again, you got to credit Brad Horn for a great block on the outside. You'll see him here, number 74, give a great lead out block on the outside here on the left. And that just gives Fick an easy opportunity to get into the end zone.
Well, if there was any question as to whether Emmaus was going to just play out the string or try and win football games, I think that has been answered. On for the point after is Landis. And that is blocked. Coming off the right corner was number 22, Eugene Clay, an outstanding sophomore in the Canary program, leads them defensively with 4 interceptions, but Allen High School has dug themselves a hole as they trail 13-0.
You'll see that block coming up right there. You saw number 74 clearing out the whole area. Fick gets a nice alley to go to and had a clear sailing right into the end zone.
There's Clay's block on the point after.
Nice job, way to reach out, extend yourself.
Took a good angle.
Excellent special teams play.
Yep, positioned himself about a yard or 2 out in front where he wouldn't run the risk of running into the kicker if he missed it. 12-yard touchdown run for Andy Fick, 50 yards on a 6-play drive. Time of possession 3 minutes 15 seconds, and I guess Allen has only run 3 plays in this football game with 3:51 to go first quarter. It has been all Emmaus High School. Landis
doing any damage, Mike, when you only have 3 plays in your corner.
No, you're absolutely right. And here come the Canaries. They got 1 man to beat. And he stepped out of bounds. I believe he did. Number 81, Hakeem Adams, looked like he stepped out at about the 23. That's where they will spot it. But the Canaries, a 74-yard return, will have their best field position of the evening.
Great job right there by Hakeem Adams. You see him going right up the middle. Then all of a sudden he sees that alley to the outside. He knows he's got 1 man to beat. He gets a good block right there from number 2, Sean Medeski. And then he goes up the sidelines and finally ends up stepping out of bounds right about there.
Fact that he had to hesitate around that area, Jim, may have cost him the touchdown. I think it allowed the offside pursuit to get an angle and try and catch Adams, but a big return of 74 yards. And here the handoff now to number 9, Jose Ortiz, and there's a loose ball, and it is recovered by Emmaus.
Ortiz had a nice little hole right there, but as he went up through the hole, somebody stuck their arm in there and knocked it out, and Emmaus gets the turnover right there.
Number 70, Brian Reese, an outstanding freshman in the Emmaus program, 6-foot, 200-pounder, comes up with the fumble recovery. He hesitated. He forced that fumble.
Yes, he did. He had that ball coming out before he was even going into that hole, and then number 70 does a nice job. Rice does a great job of recovering it.
He sure does. That's a big play here. Allen trying to gain some momentum and get back into the contest. Trailing 13-0, so it'll be Emmaus. That was just the 4th offensive play of the game for the Canaries. And here's Ernie with nowhere to go. A swarming Canary defense as he will lose a good 5, maybe even 6 yards.
I'll tell you, Mike, there's a classic example of the no-name defense right there, but swarming is a great way to a great term to use right there, because when he went around that right side, he was greeted by about 6 different Allen jerseys, and that's what their strength is, to move to the football.
Kareem Adams and Jose Ortiz combining to make the stop. Motion man is Parr. Frazier back to pass and throws it back to Sean, who makes the reception, but well defensed again by the Canaries. Number 22, Eugene Clay.
You're going to see a situation out here where Peter Capehart did not hold his block long enough and lets Eugene Clay around. You'll see it right outside here. You see when they go to the left side to the screen, you'll see Capehart does not hold his block long enough. That lets Clay come in and make a nice tackle right there.
Loss again on that play will make it 3rd and 19. Ball now back on the Emmaus 10-yard line. Frazier, the delay. And again, nowhere to go. This time the handoff to Feck. Leading the way defensively for Allen, number 55, Michael Fairchild. He's a good one.
I'll tell you, Mike, excellent series of defense for Allen right there. That's what showed you why they had such a great defense this whole year. That defensive series right there, they really stopped Emmaus in its tracks, did some really nice things defensively.
Well, this defense had a big goal line stand in a win earlier this year against North Schuylkill. They hung on and won that one 10-7. Denying the Spartans 3 times from inside the 3-yard line. A good punt by Landis, gets it out to about the 43-yard line.
Well, it's going to be important now. They got it for Coach Ronalds. He's got to get something established offensively here. It's too much been in and out. They haven't really had any time to get any kind of rhythm going at all tonight offensively.
Man, if for nothing else, to slow down the Emmaus offensive attack, they have been unstoppable. Bernhard has Harrison and Jose Ortiz, number 8 and 9, joining him in the backfield from the shotgun.
I think they're going to get number 33 for Emmaus offsides right there. Lining up Sean Parr offsides.
Dead ball, encroachment, defense.
Good eye,
5-yard
Mr.
penalty.
Wells.
1st and 5.
That'll make it 1st and 5, as you heard from our referee, John Drozdak.
1st and 5 down.
Hey, that's a rare call, Mike, that you get a defensive back being offsides like that.
Yeah, because they can check with the official when they come out. You see Sean Parr checking with him now. You can ask and say, am I okay here? Bernhard from the shotgun again. Looks right and throws right. Going at Parr, who really turned and had a great opportunity for an interception. Pass intended for Sean McDessie.
That time, Bernhard threw that up there a little bit too early and lackadaisical there, because there was not a situation where the receiver had beaten a defensive back, and fortunately for them, they came out of that without an interception.
Yeah, Parr'd like to have that one back. He'll make that catch more often than not. Good defensive effort on his part, played it well, turned, did everything but catch the ball. Here's Harrison, and a penalty marker comes in.
Looks like we're going to have a hold there by number 55.
Rutkowski, the stop for Emmaus.
Legal shift, I'm sorry.
Well, these are the problems. This is why, when you look at statistically, the Canaries struggling offensively. 73 points in 7 ball games. That's an average of 10-4 a game. Defensively, quite good. 14-4 a game. But when you're only scoring 10, it's not good enough.
The interesting breakdown, Mike, would be to look at the amount of penalties per offensive series that they have during the year, because I'm sure that that number has got to be very high.
Illegal motion on the offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
So they lose the 5 that they had gained earlier, and we're back to where we started, 2nd and 10. Ball now on the Emmaus 43. Bernhard again from the shotgun. Motion man is McDessie. Bernhard fires it and has his man complete to number 29, Mike Fernandez.
Nice job of running their patterns out here by Fernandez and also by Jose Lebron out there. They just run some nice patterns out there. You'll see it coming up right here, and he does a nice job of getting a hold of that ball out of the shotgun and putting it right where it needs to be this time.
He really has a strong arm, Coach. He gets a good amount into that throw there, and as you can see, Fernandez just settled into an open area. First down, and I believe that's the first one of the game for Allen. Indeed it is. With 36 seconds to go, first quarter, they trail 14-0. They pitch it to Harrison. Harrison looking to turn the corner. A strong job of turning that corner to gain 5 yards.
And you'll see number 9, Jose Ortiz, out there on the outside. Did a smart thing because he would have been called for a clip, but came very close and just stood there and didn't block anybody as he let number 8, Harrison, come to the outside right there and get the big gain.
Harrison, you can see, solidly built young man, a strong lower body, and he uses it to his advantage as he kind of just thrust himself forward. Time has expired in period number 1. It has been all Emmaus. They lead this one 13-0.
Pumpkin, I see you brought your mother-in-law's car here to APE Car Care Center.
Yeah, I brought it in for their 12-point winter checkup.
Well, they inspect your antifreeze, your filters, and your hoses.
Yeah, they do the transmissions, the batteries, all for $19.95. It's a good deal.
Boy, you really take good care of your mother-in-law.
Yes, I do. I try. Sometimes I think she's trying to poison me.
Well, I just talked to your mother-in-law this morning. Do you want my advice?
Yeah, what?
Take the poison.
ABE.
A lot of penalties in that first quarter. Allen penalized 2 times, totaling 10 yards. They had 1 first down. Emmaus 4 penalties, 26 yards, 7 first downs, however. Emmaus 125 yards of offense, while Allen has accumulated 29, the important number on the scoreboard. The Green Hornets have put up 13 points, while the Canaries have been shut out. Period number 2 underway, with Allen facing a 2nd and 6 on the Emmaus 26. Bernhard under pressure, gets rid of it just in time as he is creamed by number 42 for Allen, Brian Rutkowski.
You also see number 24 coming in there, Adam Cavalry coming in there. And that's the thing that you'll see. They come in a blitz, Mike. You see them coming off the corner right here, the right corner. They're getting pressure up the middle, and they're getting stuff from the corner. As you can see, the second guy in right there. So they put a lot of defensive pressure on him that time, and he got that ball off just in time.
Incomplete pass. We'll bring up 3rd and 6. Wide right is Jose Lebron. Lebron's a senior, 6 foot. Motion man number 22 is Eugene Clay. Bernhard looking right, throws that way, has a man. It's Eugene Clay to the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Allen High School. Oh, what a good effort by Eugene Clay to get that ball and break that plane, and the Canaries are right back in this football game.
Excellent call right there. You'll see on the screen right here, they're going out there, they're crisscrossing, one's coming inside of the other one, and Clay gets that inside position, and once he gets there, gets the ball and just puts that ball over the goal line for the touchdown.
Well, they flood that area, Jim, and there were just not enough people over there to cover. Jose Lebron was in the area as well. On to attempt the point after, number 16, Micah Minnick, and he is down Broadway. We've got a 13-7 football game. I'll be very surprised if we're not, still determining who might be the winner of this one into the fourth quarter. As this season winds down, I think the one thing that can be said for all the games we've seen, Jim, we've seen players play with a sense of urgency.
Yes, we have. And you see right there, nice job of getting that ball out exactly where he needed to get by Bernhardt. And then Clay taking a good hit right there from number 33, Sean Parr. But just as he wanted to do, he got it into the end zone.
Clay had a big game earlier this year. He is only a sophomore. He's a fine student. Leads the team with 4 interceptions. Starts defensively at the cornerback position and plays some spot offense. Time of possession 135. A 5-play drive totaling 43 yards. 26 yards from Bernhardt to Eugene Clay. 13-7.
See, Mike, that's what they want to do. They want to spread the field out, get those people that they want to use their speed to their advantage. And obviously that time you saw a prime example of it. Spread the field out, get those little crossing patterns going right there. And Clay got to the outside, and that's what they needed to do.
Micah Minnick kicks off. Fielded by Parr. Parr with a full head of steam up across the 40. And Emmaus will have very good field position up near their own 45. Nice return by Sean Parr.
See a nice wall being formed right there in front of them. Everybody's got somebody to take it. You can see them, heads are bobbing each way. They're looking for people coming at them. And you see finally they get them there. Micah Minnick even getting in on the action right there, the kicker from Allen.
Yeah, neat little shot from the end zone, Cam, to see what it's like to be one of those kamikazes try to break that wedge. That's not the most fun in this game, I'll tell you. Parr, a 33-yard return. And Frazier hands to the second back throw. Beers on the carry. Well, I'll tell you, this Emmaus offensive team, they move guys. They have fullbacks play tailback. They move them around. Jeffrey Tauber makes the stop for the Canaries.
You'll see right here once again, though, Mike, the speed of the Allen defensive line. Look at the speed, the way they come flying in there. Number 74 came in there very, very early, Jeffrey Tauber. And I'll tell you what, in the last 2 series, it's like the Allen people have put it in the 4th gear when it comes to the defensive pressure, and they are really going to the football.
Beers this time the up back as they toss it to Matt Ernie, looking for a block, and he gets it on the end. Turns the corner, gets it up near midfield. And brought down defensively by Michael Gallmer.
Ernie did a nice job of getting a couple yards right there, but they once again strung it out, made it tough for him again to get Jeffrey Tauber out there on the outside, make it tough for him, even though he had 2 blockers in front of him to get to that corner. You'll see right here. He's going to get that quick pitch, and you'll see number 74 coming out there. The 2 guards are coming out there, but they're really battling, person on person out there, and it's tough. I'm impressed with the way that Allen goes to the football.
They certainly do fly to it. Frazier fires one over the middle and just a little bit too tall. Intended for number 87, Aaron Bisbing.
Intended for Aaron Bisbing, incomplete.
Emmaus will have to give up the football.
Situation.
And that'll mean punter Kyle Landis.
Final, Penn State 38, Northwestern 35.
Boyd Ewell, you heard it, so now we can have a relaxing night for the rest of the night. I was worried about you. We're pretty high up here. You were getting suicidal on me there. Penn State a winner. They have their first win of the year, beating Northwestern. High snap. Punt fielded by number 29, Mike Fernandez. In good pursuit by the Hornets.
Fernandez brings Gray's punt out to the Canaries 20. Aaron Bisbing on the tackle for Hayes. First and 10.
Mike Fernandez got a nice block right there by Lateef Q. Everett on the first block he got there, but they couldn't get by and out to the corner where he wanted to get up to that wall, go up the sideline. Just right here, gets a great block right there. Excellent comeback block right there. But he just couldn't turn it up that corner, and the wall wasn't formed well enough.
Bernhardt brings the Canaries out with Harrison the deep back. Number 9, Jose Ortiz, is the up back on the left side.
They're coming with that corner pressure again, Mike, this time number 24 once again.
Looked like Ortiz read it, but he didn't. They got there.
Adam Cavalry again coming from that right side, and he got in the backfield as quick as that handoff was. And you can see if we have the replay for that one, that he is in there coming off that corner very, very quickly.
Harrison able to gain 2 on first down. You look at it.
You see him comes flying in from that corner right away and gets him by the feet. And he's coming all the way from the opposite corner right there. So that's a little twist that Emmaus has been doing a lot of tonight.
Motion man is McDessie. Bernhard looking right, throws that way, intended for Sean, and the pass falls incomplete. Well covered that time by number 12, Andrew Feck.
Once again, Emmaus putting a little pressure on. You'll see it coming up the middle this time. Hernandez just gets that ball off, gets it to the outside. See him in that pattern out there, that crossing pattern right there, just about arm's length out there from a completion.
Bernhard 2 for 7, 35 yards, including a touchdown. That was good defense that time by Feck. And Bernhard throwing it away where only his man would be able to catch it if anybody did. 3rd and 8. Bernhard over the middle, has his man. Pass come, no, he dropped it. Intended for number 20, Michael Watson. Well, the Canaries will go 3 and out, then have to punt from deep in their own territory. Matt Gray on the coverage for the Green Hornets. Matt Gray, fine tight end, now also playing some defense for Emmaus. Micah Minnick in punt formation. A low punt fielded right at the 50 by Parr. Oh, if he gets a block, he's going to create some problems. Pulls out of one tackler. And Emmaus again will have good field position. Jim, they've had the better of the field position for most of this night. Run out of bounds by the punter, Micah Minnick.
And that's what happens. As good as a defense as Allen has, Mike, you can't be putting them in this kind of predicament every time they come on the football field. And that's, you're right, that the field position tonight for Emmaus has been excellent so far.
No, and that's a product of not being able to, you know, at least offensive, you're not going to score every time you get the ball, but to move the chains 2-3 times, get some first downs, will obviously improve your field position. Canaries were unable to do that. Frazier hands to Ernie over the left side and maybe gets a couple.
Nice job again with that right side of the defensive line for William Allen.
We're going to look at Matt Ernie. His father, Marty, we mentioned last week, played for Allen High School. It's always nice. You try and Eugene Clay leading the way defensively. There's the best seat in the house.
Oh, that's where I want to go, Mike.
Yeah, Keith Falco, the principal here at Allen High School. There you see him in the sweatshirt. He started that. One lucky fan gets an opportunity to get the best seat in the house. They can take 3 of their friends down there and get waited on by the principal of the school. What a thing of beauty.
That's the best part of the whole thing.
Absolutely. Frazier will go down. They were trying to play action, and number 9, Jose Ortiz, comes up with the game's biggest play defensively, sacking Frazier.
He's not the biggest guy in the field at 5'6", 159, but I'll tell you what, when he puts his nose up the middle, and you'll see him coming right here, he is one of the fastest kids on the field. He makes a beeline right to the quarterback, does a nice job of holding on, and then wraps him up and takes him down.
And Jim, for our younger players out there watching that might be quarterbacks, the key there, you have to make a better play action fake. Play action fake is designed to slow that guy down, and there's a situation when they look at the game film, that was not a good enough play action fake to freeze that linebacker. Frazier, and here's a little hook and ladder, and it does not fool the Canaries as they are in perfect position. Number 1, Kareem Adams. They completed the pass to Bisbing, who lateraled it back to Ernie. Hakeem Adams and brother Kareem in good position.
And he was lucky to even get this backward lateral off right here, Mike, because they had him wrapped up early, but they did get the lateral off, got a couple more yards out of it, and a nice hold on right there on the ground.
Well, that's going to bring up 4th down. I think they're lining up for a field goal here. Emmaus going to take a timeout and talk about it. They have the tee right now resting on the 36-yard line. Kyle Landis, number 20, will be the one to attempt it, a left-footed kicker. As you look at Tom's surface, in his 3rd season now, 10-17. Emmaus won this matchup a year ago. Coach Surface 4-6 last year, 3-7 in 1999. Kevin Ronalds in his 5th year, now 12 wins, has suffered 35 defeats. Best year 1999 when they were 500, 5-5 record. Well, Landis from 46 yards out, and he hit it short. Underneath it, you could see just spinning much too quickly. You can usually tell in those kicks. Just didn't get it as solidly as he's capable of. Canaries hold defensively. And really not much of a risk there. Not like pro where you would have to give up the football at that spot. The ball now will be spotted at the 20.
I'd say once again, Mike, credit that William Allen defense. I mean, even with that hook and lateral play they had set up there for Emmaus, they had that smelled out good enough to stop it, and they did a great job of going to the football. Ever since those first 2 series of the game, they have really woken up and played the kind of game of defense that they're capable of playing.
Bernhard, motion man, is Michael Watson. Bernhard back to pass and throwing deep and into coverage, but caught, amazingly caught by number 5, Jose Lebron. The ball was kind of thrown behind and short, and Lebron made a terrific adjustment on the ball.
And Sean Parr got a little turned around out there, you'll see, but a nice job of laying that ball right out there, and you'll see LeBron come back just a little bit, or just stay, and he stayed right on target. He didn't even have to come back that much. He just stayed right on target. Parr got turned around a little bit, couldn't find the ball in the lights, ends up with a great completion right there.
33 yards on the completion. Here come the Canaries, trailing 13-7 with 6:37 to go first half. Bernhard this time up under center. And he lost the handle on it and goes to damage control, so they'll lose 4 yards, but be glad to keep the football. Those are the kind of little mistakes that drive coaches crazy. I mean, you're 7 games into the season. I understand that's a sophomore quarterback, but boy, that's what drives guys out of this business.
Well, especially after you make such a great play to play before, and you're starting to get rhythm, momentum, everything's going in your way, and you end up with a miscue like that. That's tough.
Yes, it is. Well, the Canaries will try it again. They lose 4 on that, make it 2nd and 14. Ball now on their own 49. Ortiz checking with Bernhard, and now he goes in motion. Bernhard fakes the sweep, now rolls left, throws back over the middle and has his man. And that's why they like Michael Bernhard. Fired a strike to Jim Pavlik, his first reception of the game, and the Canaries are on the move.
I'll tell you, he does a nice job here, Mike, rolling to his left, which is always a tough throw, but I'll tell you, he's got a lot of zip on that ball, gets it right into Pavlik's chest. Nice job right there.
Certainly was. Gain of 17 and a first down for Allen. Good mechanics by Bernhard, as you mentioned, set his feet, squared his shoulders, and as a result delivered a strike. Again, a problem with the snap, and now they toss it and they fall on it for Emmaus. Recovered by number 79, Kevin Scheitrum.
You're right, Mike. You get the feeling that if they could straighten out those miscues, they could really do some things. But there was 2 miscues on one play right there. The snap was tough, as you'll see right here, and he just about dropped that snap. And then on that pitch, there's a bobble right there, and they get Emmaus to jump all over it.
Pitch was right there. Emmaus takes over. Ernie on the carry, tackled on the play.
Fairchild doing a great job as usual, coming in from that middle spot right there. I tell you, he is, Mike, you're right, the leader on the defense. It doesn't have much of a big name on it, but he's a great leader on that defense.
Yeah, you go over their stats, and you know, Clay, we mentioned the 4 interceptions, but tackle-wise, sack-wise, they don't have a lot of sacks. What they do, and you pointed it out, they have terrific team speed, and as an 11-team unit, they play very good defense. Frazier back to pass, and it's complete into the hands of number 87, Bisbing. They've been trying to get him the football here tonight, and they do indeed. A big gainer, and here comes the Emmaus Green Hornets.
That's that same play that they tried a couple series ago, and they overthrew it, but this time Nice job by Brian Frazier getting that ball where it needed to be, and Bisbing did a nice job of getting open.
38 yards on the completion, just a 3-step drop and fire.
He did a nice job by Bisbing catching it on that left shoulder and pulling it back in, because they're getting that mismatch out there, and Kareem Adams, and I tell you, Bisbing did a nice job of getting himself out there.
Ball down to the Allen 20 with 4:12 to go, first half. The delay to Ernie, looking for room over the left side, and has the legs taken out. Clipped down by Jose Ortiz.
Ortiz with that low center of gravity there. He's only 5'6", 159. But combine that speed with the low center of gravity, and you'll see him coming in here just like cutting down a tree right here. Get low and just zip right down.
Well, the one thing that Kevin Ronalds felt coming into the season that his team would do better with was physical football teams, and I think we're seeing that. You know, he didn't by any means feel he could dominate teams, but in years past, he has gotten beaten up by those strong teams. Frazier all alone on the left side, pass complete to Bisbing, and Emmaus has 6 more. Well, turnover. That turnover, unforced turnover, just seemed to take some wind out of the sails of Allen High School, and Emmaus takes advantage.
And you'll see out here that the situation is going to happen that Clay isn't even really that close to him and just gets caught and spun around. That is a bad situation for defensive back to be in, and Bisbing makes it look easy there.
Didn't seem to know that there was someone in his area, and more worse yet, didn't seem to know that the ball was coming in that direction. Emmaus now will go for 2.
Oh, Donnie, they're going for 2.
Frazier rolls right, penalty marker down, pass intended for Ernie, knocked free. Falls incomplete. We'll see what the marker is all about.
Kareem Adams will rope up the pass.
I think they headed upfield a little too quick. I think this is going to be against Emmaus.
Illegal motion on the offense. Decline. Point is no good.
Jim Wells, I didn't show you my new chart that I carry with me now. Mike Yadish gave me this, when to go for 2. Yeah, when you're behind by 12. Well, let's see what. When you're up by 12, you go for 2. So all the coaches carrying that one. That's pretty good.
That chart, Mike, is the Bible.
Absolutely.
No one knows who made it up, but it's the Bible of every coach.
Minute 46 on the drive, 4 plays, 60 yards. Emmaus has regained control of the game, and it turns on a turnover.
You'll see right there how Eugene Clay got spun around, not once but twice on that play right there, and that's not a good thing when you're a defensive back. He really lost the situation there with Bisbing and ended up giving up a touchdown.
Canaries on the year opened the year losing to Easton 29-7, lost to Liberty 16-6, beat Shamokin, Coatesville, and North Schuylkill for their first 3-game winning streak in a decade. They lost to Pottsville 29-22 in a hard-fought game, lost to Central last week 6-2. They set their record at 3-4. And here is Adams again, looking for some running room and finds some pretty good resistance as he gets it up across the 25. Tom Surface. Brian Rutkowski, the special teams hit for Emmaus.
One thing you know, though, Mike, is that with the confidence that Allen could have in this offense, that they know they can score, so it's not going to be a factor where they're going to have to grind anything out. They're going to keep spreading the field out, try to get their speed matched on Emmaus players and see if they could do some damage that way.
Well, they certainly know they can move the football, Jim. There's no doubt about that. Motion man Watson. Bernhard looks left. Oh, what a good pattern that time by Sean McDessie. McDessie, a good job of driving his guy downfield and then did that little square in for the completion. Tackled by Adam Caverly.
The defensive backs for Emmaus are having a hard time covering these guys because of the speed. And you said, as you said it there, Mike, he did a great job of driving him down and then coming back to the football. And Bernhard doing a great job of getting that ball right where it needed to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Completed pass gives the Canaries a fresh set of downs. Ball just outside their own 40. Bernhard, quick look now the other way, and has his man, number 29, is Mike Fernandez.
Once again, Emmaus sending people from those corners, Mike, and one of these times, you know, what happens is when you send that many people, sometimes you get burned, and that time was a great pass right there. As you'll see, it was a quick three-step drop, almost like even less than a three, and he got that ball out there where he needed to get it. And that's one-on-one, and if he breaks that, he's gone.
Gain of 6 on first down. Ball out to the Emmaus, or Allen 47. They pitch it this time to Adams. Avoids a couple of would-be tacklers, but cannot avoid the effort of Jake Weeder.
That play was definitely too slow developing right there for Allen, for anybody's liking, especially for Coach Ronalds. When you have something coming in a reverse around the field, you got to be getting things going, and the blocks were too slow. Once that happens, that jams everything up, and then you get the situation where Adams gets no gain hardly.
Bernhard now will drop back in the shotgun, flushed out of the pocket, and throws on the run, and well covered again that time by Emmaus. Intended for 29, Mike Fernandez. It was tipped by Matt Gray, number 80.
They're definitely having some problems here with the cadence. You can see right there, he got hit in the stomach with that one too early. And fortunately for him, he was cognizant enough to get him, grab a hold of it. But the center and the quarterback are having some communication problems here tonight. They got to get straightened out there in the locker room at halftime.
Yeah, they have just, you know, flat out given. You can't give football teams extra opportunities, and that's what basically has happened here with Allen. And when you're tossing it and your tailback just drops it, you know, when you're on the move, and you made a good point, Jim, it was at a point in this football game when Allen was really trying to gain a great deal of momentum. How many times can you fight back through those? We'll find out here tonight if Allen, you know, can continue to make a game. They were right back in this football game, 13-7 on the move. Tried to run a little toss sweep and just, you know, had a bad snap from center. Then it was dropped by the tailback. And give credit to the Green Hornets. They made the Canaries pay for their mistake.
They did. They've been fortunate and been Johnny on the spot when they needed to be with those fumble recoveries. But that's, you know, that's a lot of times, and especially as Mike, as you said before, this time of the season, when you're in this phase of the games of the season, you shouldn't be having any kind of controversial snaps from center and in his shotgun, because obviously I've seen Allen play before, you've seen him play before. They use that shotgun an awful lot, so that's not something that they should be really having a problem with.
Kevin Ronalds, assisted by Andy Baranek, George Clay, Jim Heidecker, former player here for the Canaries, was a part of that 93 district championship team. Jim Perkins, Dan Pichardo, also a part of that team. Kirk Stamen, Sean Clay, Greg Hoffman, Andy Moll, and Boris Oden. I want to congratulate Danny Pichardo. He was married earlier this year. Been doing a fine job within this program here, and is also a teacher in the school. Eugene Clay, special team stop for the Canaries, so Emmaus will have 1:37 to try and add to a 19-7 lead. Kevin Ronalds, he's from your hometown, huh?
Yes, he is. Penardsville graduate. He's having a little frustration there, though. He knows it's frustrating when you have all this speed on your side, Mike, and you end up with miscues, and that's the thing I'm sure that's frustrating him to no end.
Frazier back to pass as the Green Hornets apparently want more, and they've got it. Pass complete to Tim Hewell. Across midfield, into Canary territory, down to the 45. Mike Gomer makes the stop for Allen. And it looked like Emmaus was going to go without a huddle, and now they regroup. Clock running at 1:27.
Mike Frazier's done a nice job, nice little job of running the Emmaus offense tonight.
Got a start last week against Deeroff. Back to pass, flushed out of the pocket, now running for his dear life, and will go down. Ball comes loose, but it appeared that the whistle had blown.
66, Ryan Fay out there to get a hold of him.
No gain on the play. Pursued by number 35, Mike Gomer. Emmaus uses the last time out and a half.
Gomer credited with the sack. Tom Surface, assisted by Dennis Roman, Jeff Broski, Drew Dangler, Mark Spangler, Doug Pavlich, Joe Guman, Bob Clark, Paul Wood, and Nick Gilley. And at the conclusion of tonight's game, we will indeed be naming our Yakos player of the game. First caller Monday morning after 9 o'clock to call 434-7833 and identify our player of the game will win a gift certificate for Yakos Dogs, located just across the lake on the other side over there. I stopped for my goodie pack on the way to the ball game. I want to thank, of course, Gary and his father Julie for continuing to support local high school athletics. Frazier back to pass and throws into traffic and almost picked off. In position, number 35, again, Mike Gomer.
I think Mike Gomer was a little surprised that ball was coming as close to him as it was, as you'll see right here on the replay. That's a nice rifled pass out there, but Gomer was the only one that was going to have the best chance at it. So intended for somebody else, but Gomer was right there.
Clock stopped with 1:02 to go, 3rd and 10. And Frazier now from the shotgun. Over the middle and in and out of the hands.
Frazier's pass intended for number 87, Bisbing.
Intended for Bisbing. Yeah, they've really made a concentrated effort here to get Bisbing involved in their offense, Jim.
They're really spotlighting him, Mike, and most of the time he's come through, but this time he just couldn't hold on to it. Adams gives him a nice little shot in the back there and gives you the sign that it's no good.
Gray in punt formation. Fielded by Fernandez. Well, and we'll have 51 seconds. Run out of bounds by Brian Reese.
And Mike, you were saying about the situation tonight with this game being so important for both teams. Looking at the schedule here, I see that Allen plays Becca next week, and then that the Emmaus plays Central next week. So things don't get easier for these two teams and then following weekend. So that's why tonight's game, as Mike said in the beginning, has been so important for each one.
Well, and then after that, Emmaus has Glenn Mills. So that will not be. And this one in and out of the arms of the intended receiver and picked off. Picked off by number 5, Mike Brushko. Emmaus will have another opportunity to try and get some more points out of this half. Looked like Fernandez got two hands on it. He did.
He did, and it was the tip drill, but you're tipping it to the wrong person that time, and he tipped it to Mike Brusco, and that's the thing that you don't want to do, and Brusco does a nice job of running it down there.
Brusco, again, one of those freshmen. There are 3 of them on the Emmaus roster. And we have heard from 2 of them tonight. Brian Reese, of course, is playing a good football game as well. Frazier rolls left, and it's intercepted. Well, he just need a block or 2. Intercepted by number 24, Ryan Kasak. Kasak across the 50, and there's still 32 seconds left in this half.
I'll tell you, that time, Mike, Ryan Kasak looked like the intended receiver. That was a direct bullet right into his stomach, as you'll see right here on the replay. Direct bullet right into him. I mean, there was no doubt about that one right there. He was obviously trying to get it a little bit over his head, but that thing did not move on him and came low, and Kasak did a nice job of getting him to the sidelines.
Well, the one thing with the way teams have been throwing the football as of late, you do run the risk, as this one is picked off. That's 3 straight plays, 3 straight interceptions. Gray on the pickoff here. Well, I don't know if you tried to do what we just experienced here, if you could accomplish that. 3 plays, 3 interceptions.
That was like a sequence when you're playing in the street, Mike. Okay, I'm going to throw it to this guy down here. And then it's another tip once again. Nice job by number 51 tipping that up in the air. That's Brad Folger. And then you get the interception off number 80, Matt Gray.
Folger, a senior linebacker, one of 17 seniors on their 58-man roster, 19 juniors, 19 sophomores, and I mentioned the 3 freshmen.
On a positive note, Mike, there's why they run those tip drills constantly every day in practice, because those are the kind of things that you get out of it.
Well, with 20 seconds, Frazier's going to test it down deep. Why not? 4 plays, 4 interceptions, and here comes Kareem Adams.
Well, Mike,
Dennis Long, our slow-mo operator, wins a mind bet.
we said that they don't have too many people in the statistical category, so obviously they're doing something about it right now. You see right there, laying it up top, and once again, it's not, and these interceptions haven't been real hard. That's the thing. Kareem Adams didn't really have to do too much for that one. Just stand there, just like he's receiving a punt.
Well, Bernhard, this might be the last play of the half, throwing it deep. Go ahead. I don't think that I have ever seen this. I have never, ever seen this. Picked off by Matt Ernie. Flags flying, everything. What an end to this first half. It cannot end on a defensive penalty, so we'll stay right here. The last 5 plays have all been interceptions. You go and figure. In defense of the quarterbacks, Jim, obviously it's all been with under a minute, and the defenses are playing a prevent. Let's listen to the call. So that's going to be against Allen, and if it is after the interception, that means that is a defensive call, so we will have one more play.
Time for another interception.
Very good. That's a good one. Well,
Illegal block in the back.
The referees don't want it to
On
stop.
blue. 1 on time down.
And you got it right, Jim. Time for one more interception. Here we go. Now, I don't know. I think if I'm Emmaus, I gotta be happy to be up 19-7. You know, I gotta be pleased with the way my team has played, come back from a disappointing loss, and I think that's what we're going to see. The record stops here. The 6th play will not be an interception. We have played one half of football with Emmaus leading Allen 19-7. Boyd Ewell in with our halftime entertainment when we return.
We don't think anyone's ride should be boxy. That's why at Key Pontiac, we make it exciting. Key Pontiac is on the move and shaking up the Lehigh Valley with exciting new cars and exciting deals. We've been voted the #1 Pontiac dealer in the Valley and #1 in customer satisfaction in the nation. Surprising comfort and performance is why Pontiac is back in the driver's seat. Don't get closed in. Think outside the box. Come into Key and rediscover driving excitement. Key Pontiac, routes 5, 12, and 22 in Bethlehem.
Let's go get Yakult. You know it's always been the best. Let's go get Yakult for quality that beats the rest. They got cheesesteaks, French fries. The famous Yakult hot dog is known worldwide. Let's go get Yakult. The secret sauce is one of a kind.
Yakult's, an Allentown tradition.
The sale you see on every Scott Chevrolet has become much more than just a logo over the years. It's 3 generations of taking customer service to the next level.
No crazy promotions or outrageous offers, just a completely comfortable experience in the showroom or on the internet, where buying a car has never been easier.
It's no wonder Scott has been #1 in Chevy sales and customer loyalty for over 25 years. Scott Chevrolet. Come in for the sale, you'll stay for the service.
Everyone knows that Italians are connoisseurs of fashion, are passionate about design. So why is it that the car voted the most beautiful new car in Italy isn't Italian? The Volvo S60.
From the time you call to a job well done, ABE Doors and Windows consistently provides outstanding service, products, and technical expertise that exceeds expectations. Beauty, improved energy efficiency, security, enhanced property value, and peace of mind can be yours at ABE Doors and Windows. We understand the value of your time and money. Call ABE Doors and Windows, where quality doesn't cost, it pays.
Looking for a way to fire up your future? Burning with a desire for a better life? Then call Allentown Business School now and learn why the hot careers start here. In 18 months or less, Allentown Business School can help prepare you for a hot new career in information technology, working as a network administrator, a computer programmer, a web designer, or a graphic designer. Call Allentown Business School now and fire up your future. Allentown Business School. Hot careers start here.
And good evening and welcome to J. Bernie Crum Stadium, and for tonight's halftime festivities brought to you by the R&J Carpet Connection, located at 922 North 3rd Street in Whitehall. Call 610-264-0556. That's the R&J Carpet Connection for all your carpet needs. Tonight we bring to you the William Allen High School Canary Marching Band. The band is under the direction of Mr. Mark R. Amsden. And he's assisted by Wayne Kurtz. Band director and percussion instructor Tina Conway. The band board of directors consists of Rachel Bartek, Brian Roger Fullwaller, Jenna Higgins, Scott Laudenschlager, Joe Mahoney, Lauren Miller, Dylan Pifley, Rachel Schott, Dina Smits, Amanda Stetler, and Stephanie Seidlich. The band is under the field leadership of drum major Brian Roger Fullwaller and assistant drum major Stephanie Seidlich. Band front captain is Jenna Higgins, majorette captain is Lauren Miller, flag sergeant is Rachel Schott, and squad leader is Vicki Smith. Rifle captain is Amanda Stetler. Formal captain is Melissa Sicker, and drum captain Joe Mahoney. Sit back and enjoy the award-winning William Allen High School Canary Marching Band. School Canary Marching Band. And that concludes our halftime festivities. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge some of Service Electric TV2 subscribers and avid viewers of TV2's coverage of high school football and the R&J Carpet Connection halftime festivities. Linda and Rick Reiner from Center Valley, former Central Catholic High School football player Ed Worstall from Center Valley, Faye Mitchell, Skip Keith from Allentown, Cheryl Browning from Allentown, and that wonderful staff over at Pates Park, Hall of Fame catcher Joe Holler, in the snack bar Marlene Seibert, Bill and Tiny Cullenham, Lou Groff, and longtime student equipment manager from William Allen High School, Brian Deppen. And that concludes our halftime festivities. We'll be back with the start of the second half of today's game with Mike Zambelli and Jim Wills right after these messages.
From the time you call to a job well done, ABE Doors and Windows consistently provides outstanding service, products, and technical expertise that exceeds expectations. Beauty, improved energy efficiency, security, enhanced property value, and peace of mind can be yours at ABE Doors and Windows. We understand the value of your time and money. Call ABE Doors and Windows where quality doesn't cost. It pays.
There comes a time in an athlete's career when he knows he's at his best. It's that moment when victory is at hand, when he feels invincible. The level of the game is irrelevant. What matters most is the feeling. And it usually comes inside a Russell Athletic jersey. Bethlehem Sporting Goods and Russell Athletic are a part of nearly every triumphant moment throughout the Lehigh Valley. Choose Russell Athletic and Bethlehem Sporting Goods. A winning tradition starts with us.
Kleckner & Son Inc., your GE Appliance Depot in Whitehall and Emmaus. Gigantic truckload sale is on. Save 15 to 50% while we blow out our entire inventory of GE closeout models. 10,000 square feet of GE sanctioned savings up to 50% off. These appliances have full manufacturer's warranty. Pay less than wholesale on all GE brands. Hurry in for best selection. The trucks are arriving daily with GE factory authorized closeout appliances at Kleckner & Son Inc., the Lehigh Valley's appliance leader. 2177 MacArthur Road, Whitehall, and 575 Chestnut Street, Emmaus.
And now, here are 3 good reasons why you should get off the couch and call Allentown Business School. Number 1, they'll send you a free brochure about programs in graphic design, web design, animation, and multimedia. Number 2, you'll see how they can prepare you for a great career in today's hottest high-tech design jobs. And number 3, doing this can open a door to the kind of future that you've always wanted.
Call 610-791-5100, that's 610-791-5100.
Key Pontiac, the leader in customer satisfaction throughout the Lehigh Valley, is now proud to offer GMC professional grade versatility. Rugged and sophisticated, the 2002 GMC line has the right vehicle for you. For a limited time, get 0.0% financing when you take home any new 2002 GM vehicle. Like the new Envoy, the next generation SUV. Each one is loaded with style, strength, and comfort. And each one is backed by Key Pontiac GMC's certified service team. Key Pontiac GMC, now we're in touch with our stronger side.
Time for a look at some first half highlights, and there are plenty of them in this entertaining game. That was Ryan Merle on an early carry. And a touchdown effort for Andrew Fick, smelling the pay dirt. A really well-played football game early. Here's Fick again, finding pay dirt. And then Allen came hustling back. Good throw there by Bernhard, excuse me, into the hands of number 22, Eugene Clay. Then we had a game, and then it kind of got somewhat comical. The fumble. Emmaus takes control, Bisbing on the reception, and then Bisbing the other way. And I want to correct myself. He had 5 catches last week, so they have been utilizing him. And then, Coach, a tennis match broke out. And that's what it felt like. 2, 3 interceptions. Here is interception number 4 as the Canaries, and then one more time number 5, and it certainly was like watching a tennis match. There are 7 turnovers In the first half of this football game, you see Emmaus leading in first downs 8-5, rushing yards 107-22, and that may be the most telling stat of the half. Emmaus, with a 2-to-1 edge in time of possession, really controlled the line of scrimmage. 6 for 11 passing, 2 interceptions. Allen 5 for 15, 3 INTs, and doubling up on the total yards or thereabouts for Emmaus. And of course, Allen losing 2 fumbles, and you really get the sense that one that the Canaries just left lay on the turf, the turning point of the first half. Return yards, Emmaus 92, Allen 33, sacks 1 each, and Emmaus has had the football 16 minutes 13 seconds as compared to 7:47 for the Allen Canaries, which really brings, Jim, if we analyze and we look at what Allen's done, you know, defensively, it makes it more, you know, intriguing that they have played or held opponents the way they have without the lack of an offense, because we saw Freedom do it last night. We saw Central do it. Sometimes your best defense is a good offense that controls the ball, and Allen gets it done without that benefit.
They do, and it's amazing that they do, Mike, and they really don't control. I mean, if you watch that first quarter and into the second quarter, they only had about 3 or 4 plays that they ended up running, and that's the kind of situation that, you know, you're not going to get a lot of points out of that, obviously. The thing with Allen, though, is they have the potential. It's like sitting on a keg that's ready to explode. They have the potential to do it at any time on the field. They got a lot more team speed than Emmaus. The deal is that Emmaus has been taking the turnover and converting them into points. And as you said with that fumble, I think it was a big turning point in the first half, that pitch fumble, and that's the thing that's come back to haunt them.
Yep. Want to send along happy birthday wishes tonight to Derek Long. One of those Long boys, and a long list of those Long boys. 15 years old today. Happy birthday to him. Here's a look at our Sunday, October 21st. Train time, I'm not quite sure that, I don't know that one, 11:30, so tune in for train time. The Emmaus Halloween Parade, which is taking place right now, we'll show it tomorrow at 12 noon. Colonial League football, a good one. Northern Lehigh and Northwestern. Live WXW Wrestling from the east side of Allentown in their new arena located on Sherman Street. Sabroso video at 8, 9 o'clock. It's Pop TV with Chris Line, and then a repeat telecast of the Emmaus Halloween Parade. Enjoy your Sunday.
Be interesting, Mike, to see what the coaches had to say at halftime. I'm sure that Coach Searfoss was pleased with the amount of rushing he got in the first half, as you saw from that stat right there, at over 200 yards of total offense. But you see the situation with Allen and Coach Ronalds is just every week's a different frustration. Last week, obviously, it's not scoring any points when they only got 2. And then this time, I mean, it's not like they don't have the potential to get some points, but the penalties and the mistakes just come back to haunt them. And that's a thing that, you know, this far late into the season, I'm still amazed at that situation with the center and the quarterback exchange, because that's something that, you know, that I'm sure he's totally frustrated with, that you don't want to have this time of the year. So I'm sure they addressed those problems at halftime also.
Sure, I'm sure they did. Want to send out congratulations tonight to Maureen Wise. 6-pound, and I want to get it right, a baby boy, guys. Colin James, and I bring that up because Jim Grell, now an uncle. Jimbo, give us a little bow, thank you. Jim Grell, that his sister-in-law. So congratulations to Maureen Wise, and good luck with their new baby. 6 pounds, born today, and here come the Canaries on the opening kickoff. Number 81, Hakeem Adams, will give the Canaries decent field position up across the 35.
Now, the deal with Allen's going to be here that you don't want to get it all back at one time. You want to take your time and do some things that are right. Get some consistency, get some flow into the offense, something that they haven't had in the first half. They've been too helter-skelter, and that's what they need to do, is get some rhythm established here right away.
Bernhard brings the team out under center, actually from the shotgun. And they will start the second half from the gun. Ball spotted on their own 29. I had set out to the 35. It's actually the 29. Bernhard swings it into the hands of Ortiz, picks up a block downfield and pulls away from one would-be tackler, and up to midfield for Allen, first down.
Mike, that's what they need to do, get that speed out in the open, and you saw him make some great moves right here. He does a nice job with his feet there. He gets a little swing out here. He's going to take it right here, and you're going to think he's going to get tackled, but he does a nice job of faking right there. You see a little foot move right here coming up. and then he gets himself to the outside. There's the foot move right there, and then gets a couple more. He gets about 8 or 9 more yards on that.
Jake Weeder, the stop for the Green Hornets, but not before Ortiz able to get it just into Emmaus territory. You get the sense that if Allen's going to remain in this football game, they need to score the next points. Bernhard again from the shotgun, rolling right. And a little too far, pass intended for Eugene Clay.
You know, it's funny, Mike, that I've noticed, and I just saw it on that play right there, that Bernhardt is the opposite of what you would normally think. When he rolls right is usually when he overthrows and powers it. He must have so much power going on right there. That one pass he had back there in the second quarter when he was rolling left, who he said he set so well, he was rolling, rolling to the opposite side. So it's almost like when he starts rolling to the right, sometimes he does overpower a little bit.
Sometimes a right-hander will get sloppy with his mechanics, where vice versa going to his left, his mechanics must be better in order to get a pass off, and that's a very good observation. He has been accurate when moving to his left. Hands this time to number 8, Dwight Harrison. Harrison is a senior. He has off and on made some starts this year. 49 carries, 154 yards, brought down by Ryan Merle.
And as you said, Mike, Harrison with that big lower body right there, if he gets those legs churning, gets into the secondary, he could cause some major damage.
A gain of 2. 3rd and 8 now facing the Canary offense. Motion man number 20, Watson. Bernhard back to pass and guns it over the right side and complete to number 2, Sean McDessie.
I think they're saying this is Emmaus' ball, Mike, and they are.
Another turnover. The question here, does the Emmaus defender have possession of the football? And all of a sudden our replay monitor becomes a hot commodity up here in the booth. There's the completion. The loose football. Does he have possession?
It's going to be interesting to see also there. 1001, 1000, no.
Yeah, is that a completion even to begin with?
And it's a question whether the feet are out of bounds there for the people who are, involved in that situation down there. But obviously the official is right on the spot.
Yeah, there's some question marks there all the way around. Jeffrey Tauber denying this play on the carry. I believe that was Sean Parr, number 33 on the carry. No, it was Merle. Ryan Merle, number 47 on the carry for Emmaus. And did a good job to pick up 3 yards as he was hit behind the line of scrimmage. Canaries coming on a blitz and come too early.
That time Jose Ortiz came in a little bit too early. Too much of his speed, couldn't put it in hold right there. Came across the line.
Dead ball, encroachment on the defense.
Well, instead of 2nd and 8, it'll be 2nd and 3. Ball now in the Emmaus 43. Oh, what a stick there by Jeffrey Tauber.
And Tauber's having his way with that offensive line of Emmaus on that side there, and both times in the last 2 plays he has really risen to the occasion. 6'2", 240, only a junior for Coach Ronalds, and he does a great job once here, right there, right smack in the middle. Ends up putting him right down to the ground before he get a chance to even get going.
Watch the replay. Still couldn't see the number of the ball carrier there. I'm not sure if that was.
I think it was Ernie, Mike.
It was Ernie, Matt Ernie. Ernie's uniform starting to look like it did at this time a week ago here. And here is Matt Ernie at his vintage best. Spinning and weaving and turning through the secondary after taking that hit. Comes back to turning a carry like that, and that's all you need to know about Matt Ernie.
Finally brought down by Jason Dutch right there, but the situation is there's a couple people who get some arms in here, get 1 or 2 right there's another one right there, missed tackle, but he does a good job, as you said, Mike, of twisting and turning. That ball pops loose, but the whistle had already blown.
First down, Emmaus, ball at the Allen 46-yard line. run blitz, and Ernie tripped up behind the line of scrimmage, does tumble forward for positive yards.
I'll tell you, Mike, it's what's amazing, and you see number 55 right there, Michael Fairchild. Of all the games we've done this year, I can't honestly say that I've seen a team as much in the offensive backfield every play as I've seen Allen tonight. I mean, they are constantly in the offensive backfield. Sometimes you're right that they would overrun it, but, but the other thing, I mean, they are really quick off the football.
13 carries, 44 yards now for Matt Ernie. His second straight start at the tailback position. And here come the Canaries again, and this time straight ahead running for Ernie. Or is that number 12, Andrew Feck? It was Feck on the carry.
Ryan Kasak.
Ryan Kasak the stop, the 6-foot senior in the secondary.
This is one of the few times where they got one-on-one, and even saw right there that Jason Dutch got some hands in there but couldn't hold on. But going one-on-one, this is the first time they really overpowered him going up the middle.
Injured player on the field for Allen.
She's definitely
And number 72, Jason Dutch. It'll bring out, and I believe that to be Dr. Leo Todd. Of course, he works sidelines for Deeruff games, Allen games. Family doctor and located on Walbert Avenue, and he's a great supporter of high school sports. And I saw something in a game as a couple of weeks ago that we did that I had worked another game that night, and Dr. Todd actually lifting or dragging one of those big linemen off the field. You know, a lot of times you get help from a teammate or whatever, and they didn't come out, and Dr. Todd had this guy draped over his shoulder and helping him off the field. He is a great supporter of these young athletes, and City of Allentown could use a few more guys like Dr. Leo Todd.
I'll tell you, this is going to be a big blow to the Allen defense right here, because number 72, Jason Dutch, has really done a great job all night long of getting in that backfield and causing a disturbance to happen. And I think he's telling the doc right here he got hit from the side, so they're going to check out that knee and see if it's all right for him to go back in or whatever happens the rest of the night.
Doc will rub a little of that magic potion on there, get him back in there. 1st and 10 for Emmaus. First man through, and here is number 47, Merrill again.
Emmaus is going back to that isolation now that they just going one-on-one blocking right here, having very, very positive success on that right side, as you'll see it right here. Just a little one-on-one, give a quick handoff right there. As soon as they get burst through that line of scrimmage, they're shaking off those linebackers and getting to the outside very, very quickly, where the D-backs got to make the adjustment out there and make the tackle.
Adams, along with Kasak, again on the stop. Merle's won the ball well here tonight in his limited opportunities. Emmaus doing it by committee. Fick has had a good night. Parr has had a good night, along with the steady play of Matt Ernie. Good opening in the middle. Adams again on the stop. That is Merle again on the tackle as he's getting his carries now. Kasak also in on the stop for the Canaries.
I think we're going to have a little measurement here, Mike.
Oh, well, look at the size of that hole.
The offensive line starting to really go one-on-one and push some people out of the way right here. And this is one of the things that Emmaus has on their side. They had a nice job during the year in the weight room, and Coach Sierfa's happy with the strength program that they've done, I'm sure, and what I've heard of. And now they're just going one-on-one and pulling people out of the way.
Rob Lynch, the younger brother of Michael Lynch, number 73, a nice seal block on that. Merle now 4 carries, 55 yards. 3 of them have picked up first downs for the Green Hornets.
And this is the area in the past, Mike, where they've looked for Bisbing.
And a tap on the back of the helmet there, and I believe we might have Allen for encroachment again. They're trying to come with a blitz, and they're just a little anxious. It's all right to want to blitz and want to be anxious and get there, but you need to wait for the snap. And the Canaries might now be showing a little signs of, you know, being down on that scoreboard, 19-7, and, you know, there is such a thing as trying too hard.
Dead ball, encroachment, defense.
Yeah, this is the series that they have not done as well defensively. First series in a long time, and that frustration, you're right, Mike, is starting to show like that penalty right there.
Well, and again, they were trying to build some momentum, move the football on offense, and a turnover, whether it was a completed pass and a fumble or not. You know, it doesn't matter because that's the way it was ruled. Handoff here to Ernie again, and Ernie spinning his way finds pay dirt.
Give Ernie the credit right there. He kept going and kept going. A lot of missed tackles by Allen on that series right there. And that's what Coach Reynolds will not be happy with, as you'll see on the replay. There'll be a couple guys that had a good shot at him, but he just kept going and found his way into the end zone.
Well, Jim did that game last week against Deerup, and if there was a bright spot for this team, Matt Ernie played from the opening kickoff to the final whistle. He did play a good football game for this team in a losing effort, and he has continued that here this evening. And Emmaus will go for 2, leading 25-7. Try for 2 falls incomplete. 6:21 to go. 25-7 in favor of Emmaus.
Tonight's TV2 sports coverage is being brought to you by Allentown Mazda Volvo, Allentown Business School, Key Pontiac, ABE Doors and Windows, Lanta, Family Prescription Center, Kraus Dodge, and Kleckner's.
There's the touchdown by Ernie. Good effort on his part. I like that move that they have made. I think, number one, it gives you a sophomore quarterback in Frazier who's shown to be more than capable, but more importantly, it gives this guy the opportunity to run the football a little bit more. 64-yard drive, 8 plays. Ernie from 8 yards out, time of possession 4:09. And Emmaus bucking the odds there. My chart here says when you're up 18 points, you should kick the point after. They went for 2. See, now I should make a copy of this and get it to those guys. Oh, boy, I tell you, Mike Yadish, our analyst for Lehigh football, gave me this. Going to get me in a whole lot of trouble. I could see that.
I can't wait to tell Mike to thank you next week when we do that game. For that little bit of knowledge that he gave Mike with that chart. Oh, boy.
Well, it is informational. I mean, obviously, at this point, I don't know how important it is, but in close games, I guess they looked at it mathematically, and, that's what they came up with. Injured player now on the field, and it looks like number 29, Mike Fernandez.
That is who it is, Mike Fernandez, number 29. Speaking of Mike Yadish, we'll be doing that game next week, Mike. That matchup of Easton and Whitehall. Be interesting to see all kinds of ramifications. Mountain Valley Conference, district playoffs.
Well, I like both teams now in terms of their chances getting to the point, especially Easton, getting to this point of the season unbeaten. I like them to be in. I mean, because basically that race has boiled down to 5 teams, really. Parkland, Nazareth, Bethlehem Catholic, Whitehall, and of course Parkland. Parkland and Easton have to play later on, but you got to like the position that they're in. But again, and there won't be an overall champion in the Mountain Valley Conference. There'll be a Valley Division winner, a Mountain Division winner, but that's going to clinch at least a tie for one of those 2 next week. Of course, Easton will still have Parkland to play on their schedule after next week. Whitehall will have their traditional game with Northampton. You have to like them in that situation. But it's going to be a great atmosphere, and I think no better setting than to play that game in Cottingham Stadium, where there'll be people outside the stadium sitting on their roof with their windows open and watching that ball game. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm sure our viewers are as well. It's going to be a packed house. It's going to be a great, great atmosphere. Bernhard works from the shotgun on 1st and 10, looking to screen it and almost picked off. Emmaus a very good job of reading that play, and it was Gray again coming up to break up that pass.
Nice job by the defensive secondary, especially Gray coming up real quick right there. Bernhardt didn't have a chance there. He tried to get into a place. He couldn't get it. Gray got his hand in there real quick.
Canaries this year, the most points they scored in a game were 22 in a losing effort against Pottsville. Bernhardt on 2nd and 10. Straight drop, pass over the middle and into the hands of Jose Lebron, and he hangs on for a completion. A gutsy catch by Lebron over the middle.
It's amazing, Mike, how they move the ball. You see right here Bernhardt going back, and he has that rifle arm, and he gets it right in the situation he needs to be right there. Lebron makes the catch.
And nice mechanics. You know, you and I have talked about it in previous games. Those passing camps that some of the local colleges hold have really improved the passing that we see in high school. And you go back short 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, you did not see quarterbacks with the mechanics that we are seeing today. And it's a product of those summer camps and having the opportunity to go there and just work on the passing, and the technique is much better.
Oh, you can see it in everywhere. And in reference to Michael Bernhardt here, he's only a sophomore. He's a big kid, 3'180", and he's got, you know, a bright future ahead of him. Gets a couple, you know, years more in the weight room and gets some more size on that frame. And with the size of that arm and the speed of that arm, he could have a good future in front of him.
I think a lot of folks would agree with you there, and there's particularly the people involved with this Allen High School program. Here he is looking deep over the middle. Looks like there was some interference, and there is a penalty marker thrown. Pass intended for number 29, Mike Fernandez. We'll wait for the call from referee John Drozdak. Bernhardt 8 for 21, 134 yards on the day. And it is interference against Emmaus.
Pass interference on the defense. 15 yards, automatic first down.
That does not go to the spot of the infraction. It is marked off from the line of scrimmage. It'll give Allen a first down in Emmaus territory. 25-7 in favor of the Green Hornets. Both teams coming in here at 3 and 4. Motion man Kareem Adams. Bernhardt swings it right into the hands of McDessie, and he overthrows the intended receiver then, number 81, Akeem Adams. They had it set up perfectly. The first pass would be considered a lateral because number 2, McDessie, was behind the quarterback, but Sean then overthrew the intended receiver.
You see that little lateral to the outside, and then he just uncorks one that there is no way that was going to end up in the hands of anyone.
Idea was good.
Excellent concept.
No, that's what happens when you have wide receivers throwing footballs. They don't have too much practice at that stuff. 2nd and 10. Bernhardt, here comes the blitz, gets rid of it and gets nailed. That's still a good job by the quarterback to get rid of that football and not take the sack. Threw it over the middle, threw it too tall, but rather than take a 6-7 yard sack, he has an incompleted pass.
Well, you know, the other thing in his defense, Mike, is the fact that, you know, being down 25-7, that they're going to have to pass the ball almost all the time. So that, you know, they're coming, and Emmaus is playing all kinds of defensive games back there, and it's tough that when they're bringing a lot of pressure sometimes to get those balls off. So, you know, he's got a tough job ahead of him.
Clock stopped with 5:41 to go, third quarter. 3rd down 10. Motion man McDessie. Bernhardt with time, in and out of the hands of Jose Lebron.
Got it to the right area he needed to get it to, but Lebron can't hold on to this one right here, as he was just a little bit behind, couldn't grab on.
It's one of those nights for the Canaries. If it could go wrong, I guess it will. You know, it's a combination: turnovers, penalties, some dropped passes, lack of execution. And it looks like they're going to go here on 4th down. And they will. 4th and 10, ball on the Emmaus 44. It may have taken too much time. They might rethink it now.
Dead ball, delay of game on the offense.
Eugene Clay checks in offensively for number 29, Fernandez. And the Canaries will stick with their guns and go from it. Although Bernhardt drops back in a shotgun formation. Don't know if he can punt the ball or not. It might not be a bad thought here. They're going. Throws it over the middle. And it's incomplete, but they'll get what they wanted. In terms of an interference call, and that'll give the Canaries a 1st down.
That's as good as it gets for them right now, Mike, and that's exactly what they wanted, to get somebody over the middle, try to get that pass out there, and Sean Parr is going to get called for interference.
His coaching staff not real pleased with this call. It did appear that there was some contact. Keep in mind, in high school, there is no such thing as an uncatchable football. If there is some contact, no matter where the ball is, it can be called interference.
Defensive pass interference. Automatic 1st down.
You know, we mentioned big number 78 for Emmaus, Michael Lynch, and of course he's drawing a double team all night long. He's going to get attention.
There's where you earn your money right there, Mike. I tell you, being those offensive linemen inside there, oh, craziness. Everybody's falling on top of each other, pushing, shoving.
You know, when you see injuries, you wonder, when you see things like that it doesn't happen more. Here's the inside handoff to McDessie. Excuse me, number 9, Jose Ortiz. And Ortiz able to pick up maybe 3 on 1st down. Clock moving, 5:15 to go, 3rd quarter. Understand Holy Cross today a winner over Lafayette, and I don't bring it up because of that, but the final score 63-53. Where were the defenses? Lehigh a winner by 10 over Fordham. Jim, you did Moravian this afternoon. They were a winner over Wilkes. That would have been a big win for that program. Bernhardt has a man, and he floats it into the arms of Sean McDessie. And the Canaries have their 2nd score, but there's a penalty marker laying down at the 31.
Well, you said it, Mike, when it goes bad, it goes bad. And probably going to bring this one back here.
Well, this has to be painful for Kevin Ronalds. I don't know that, and it has just been everything. I mean, it's not something you can go down and sit in a meeting and say, hey, this is, guys, we're turning the ball over too much. I mean, you've got to start with turnovers, go to penalties, go to mental mistakes. I mean, it's the whole gambit.
Hold on the offense. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Oh, and the Canaries could ill afford to have points taken off the board at this point of this football game. Get it into the end zone, but the hold will bring it back. Bernhardt back to work. This one in and out of the arms and picked off by Matt Ernie. Ernie up to the 30, and how quickly things change.
Something we haven't seen in a long time, Mike, an interception.
Yeah, at least in 7-8 minutes.
And once again, you're going to see into the hands of a receiver, number 5, LeBron, but right out of his hands and into the hands of Matt Ernie.
Well, that's where, you know, interceptions can become a cruel statistic against a quarterback, because that is a well-thrown football that statistically will show up at the end of the year as an interception. So Emmaus takes over on the turnover, leading in the game 25-7. And if they can control that line of scrimmage right now, Jim, they've got a winnable football game here. Both teams coming in at 3-4. Gomer and Ortiz combined to make the stop. Central Catholic a winner this afternoon over Pottsville. For those of you who missed the game, seen live on TV2. 35-26 your final. Penn Argyl moving closer to a third straight Colonial League championship, beating Wilson this afternoon. Andrew Fick, another nice carry. Andrew Fick's having a nice night tonight. Run out of bounds by Akeem Adams.
You see a nice little run right here, bouncing to the outside. He bounced it himself to the outside. The play was designed to go inside. He bounced it himself to go outside. And he got a nice little gain down the sideline.
Beers and Ernie the split back, and this is Matt Ernie. Oh, he runs well between the tackles. Like the way the shoulders are nice and low and square. Gomer making the stop for a young man who has worked out at quarterback through most of his career. Of course, last year he missed most of the year with an injury. And now this year, mid-season, late in the season, being moved to tailback, he is doing a fine job.
He does a nice job protecting the football, Mike. I noticed that right there, and that play in particularly, that people were there trying to grab that football from all different angles, obviously, because they want the ball back. Allen does at this point, but he does a nice job protecting it.
Frazier, this time the handoff to Fick. Fick around left end and bowling his way. Nice finish for Andrew Fick, and another Emmaus first down. Brought down by Eugene Clay.
Getting a heavy dose now of Andrew Fick right here. You see the situation. A nice little job there from the senior at 165, 6 foot. Going to notice it right here. He gets a nice big hole to run through, and then he does a great job of getting some extra yards down there at the end.
You know, Jim, I think if you just walked into the stadium here tonight and you looked at the Emmaus team, and I want to point it out to our viewers, you can see how all of the jerseys are, you know, worn and, you know, obviously dirty. Look at the uniform of the quarterback, Frazier. Relatively clean to this point, and I think that would let you or indicate right away that Emmaus might be getting the better of this football game. Look how clean his jersey is.
Delay of game.
Delay of the game here compared to the rest of the guys on offense.
That's a good point, Mike, and you see that he's had an excellent game. He's really only made one major mistake, and that's throwing that interception there late in the second quarter. So, but then again, with so many interceptions,
yeah, which one of them are
which one could you name as a mistake? But
and here, just as we talk about it, he will go down to a sack. Fick, 6 carries, 70 yards, has a couple of touchdowns, and responsible for 5 first downs, and that's important when you can keep those chains moving.
Another thing that Frazier's, you know, you have a classic game here, Mike, with both quarterbacks only being sophomores. You know, a lot of kids out there, they're the sophomores that are leading their JV teams on Monday afternoon, and these guys are the main cogs in the varsity situation here. So it's you know, a tribute to both young men that they do such a great job.
Second and 19, ball now on the Allen 31. Frazier hands to the wingback, and numbers starting to get difficult to read. I believe that was Ernie again. That was Ernie on the carry. Ernie's numbers, Fick's number, becoming very difficult to read. Kasak again the stop for the Canaries. Ernie now 16 carries, 65 yards. He has a touchdown. They have really spread it around offensively for Emmaus. Here again is Andrew Fick. And Allen right now looking like a very tired football team, Jim, and you could understand that. We gave the time of possession. Defensively, they have spent a lot of time on the field.
They haven't, and, you know, that quickness, the thing that negates quickness, Mike, is a lot of work. And, you know, they've had to work an awful lot tonight, and they've had to do an awful lot of things that they shouldn't have had to do because the offense was in and out so many times, and they are getting a little bit tired at this point.
And so much more difficult to play defense. And obviously, you know, the number one thing that sticks out in your mind is a lot of times you're running backwards. You're, you know, especially for the secondary, you're, you know, in a retreating kind of a mode. And Well, Emmaus now starting to take advantage, leading in the game 25-7 and looking for more. Fick again on the carry, and good resistance defensively by Allen.
Once again, Michael Fairchild coming in there, number 55. Still giving it all he's got here. Even though their Canaries are down 25-7.
Well, and the other thing too is it has to become at some point somewhat demoralizing when, you know, you play your heart out on defense and you watch your offense move the football. A lot of the guys obviously playing offense as well, but, you know, to self-destruct as many times as they have here this evening. Ernie straight ahead off left tackle. Hit it about the 5 and driven back. They'll probably spot his motion maybe at the 5, maybe a little bit inside. Kasak and Gomer again combining on the stop. That might be the final play of the period as Emmaus now retreats to their bench. We've played 3 here from J. Bernie Crum Stadium. Emmaus in control at 25-7.
When you go to your Mazda dealer, you'll see every Mazda is going fast. It's the Mazda Make Your Move event. Right now, get the best values of the year. Get a fun-to-drive Mazda Protege.
Stop in today and check out our special lease programs at Allentown Mazda.
It's the best time of the year to get into a new Mazda. So hurry to the Mazda Make Your Move event now.
Welcome back to J. Bernie Crum Stadium. Mike Zambelli joined by Jim Wills. I want to thank Travis Sparks for joining us here tonight. And Travis, of course, involved with Sports Fever magazine. Travis, I know you were here for the game this afternoon, and it was a good game this afternoon. How's our buddy Gordon Blaine doing?
Doing very well.
Yeah, you guys do a good job with that magazine, and I know you're a writer for them. And should be an interesting state tournament as we, you know, get into that part of it. Of course, districts will have. Who do you like coming out of that Harrisburg area? I understand Reading has a terrific football team.
Reading is looking very good. As far as Harrisburg teams, probably the case with AAA again. We'll see Mannheim Central because they're doing so well. I'm based here in District 11 out of the Pottsville area.
Right, right.
The A tournament alone is going to be one doozy.
Oh yeah, that's always a good one. There's some very good single-A schools up in that area for sure. And of course, we have the #1 team right here in District 11. Pius X is having a terrific football season.
Yeah, Pius now 8-0, Williams Valley 8-0, Schuylkill Haven 7-1. I mean, a lot of teams fighting for that 4th spot. As far as AA goes, Jim Thorpe looking very well.
Absolutely.
6-2. They beat Cardinal Brennan last night. They could probably sneak in. And with AAA in District 11, since they don't have AAA, it's going to be pretty much touch and go as far as Blue Mountain, Lehighton, even ACC now getting on a roll.
Yep.
And it's going to be tough. I know one of those 3 teams in AAA is going to be upset that they're going to have to settle for Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
Blue Mountain, Schuylkill Haven in Week 10. That's one to watch for.
Also understand Strathaven, who's the defending state champion, is having another great season. I know Joe Heyer, who works for us here at certain games, has called a lot of their games on radio as Emmaus has tacked on 6 more here. And there's a quarterback keeper for Mr. Frazier to start the 4th period.
Well, we talked about Brian Frazier a lot, Mike, and I tell you, Coach Searfoss, you can see right there, is happy with the decisions that young man has made the past couple weeks, doing a great job in that quarterback position. Once again, only a sophomore, but gives you a lot of versatility. That time you saw him running the ball in.
Well, Jim, we talked about the move of Ernie to the tailback position, and I really think it's twofold. I like Frazier as a quarterback. He's a little taller than Matt is. You know, he throws the ball well. He has good mechanics, and I just think they had a bad week last week against steer off, although give the Huskies a lot of credit. They played with more emotion and deserved to win the football game. Tonight it is Emmaus, and that's the beautiful thing, I think, about high school sports. Missed extra point here for Emmaus leaves the score 31-7. You know, to watch a team that did not perform the way they would have liked to a week ago come back here to the same stadium, a different football team, obviously, in Allen, but played to a different level, played to a better level.
And that time you saw the option being run right there by Brian Frazier, and a nice job going down the line right there. And you're right, that, you know, that's what's nice about the week in, week out situations. We talked in the open tonight about this is going to be the game that's going to make a difference.
There's our stat guy. Say hi to the viewers, Travis Sparks from Sports Fever magazine. We talked him into sticking around here. He's doing a great job with the stats. Jim, we mentioned about how Emmaus is able to bounce back here, and I want to send out, and if Tim Muntzman is listening, you know, they have lost their last 2 games since we saw them get demolished by Whitehall 2 weeks ago. But I'll tell you something, 7-3 they were down to Easton at the half, arguably one of the best teams in the district, and last night gave it to Parkland. It's a 14-12 ball game. He has done a very good job. Hasn't been rewarded in wins and losses, but to see that team bounce back and play competitive with those 2 programs, I think is a great tribute to him.
It is. It's a great tribute to him, and what that shows you is that the kids want to play for him, and they do an excellent job. And I talked to Tim today at the Moravian game, and he said that they did an outstanding job last night, turned away with a 2-point conversion there at the end. And you know, that's the kind of thing that meat grinder schedule that they had. Right. You know, everybody didn't give them a chance. The only people that gave them a chance were the coaching staff and the kids themselves, and they came out pretty much, you know, on the losing end both times, but pretty much in a situation where they came out and were very proud of the effort the coaches were that they have given the last 2 weeks. And then next week, you know, they'll be going against Northampton, so, you know, once again they have a chance to, because of Northampton's record of a very winnable game. And then that game at the end of the year is going to be an excellent game against Jim Morgan's and the Freedom Patriots.
Absolutely, and that's one game we're going to carry live here. That's a 12 noon game on a Saturday afternoon, and I'm looking forward to that one, as we're going to get a little fireworks show now. I don't know how long this is going to continue. What a day this has been. Here we go. Fireworks now across the way. There was one anyway. Now some cars are pulling out. I got a feeling that they're going to hightail it out of here.
I think those guys got the dates mixed up there. 4th of July.
Oh, boy. Nothing beats fun, huh? 6 football games here on TV2 Sports over the last couple of days, and we certainly hope our viewers have enjoyed each and every one of them.
Your car's parked over there, isn't it?
Yeah, my car's over there. Well, don't forget Zambelli fireworks now. You know, they're, you know, I don't get it. I don't get any of those. They're not mine. Bernhard back to pass, has his receiver, and that is number 5, LeBron, and LeBron across midfield, down inside the 40. Just a lack of consistency. You know, when an Allen program and they sit down and they'll view this film, I mean, it's just a matter of, you know, finishing off drive. There's a lack of consistency, and they're down 31-7 in this game. Bernhard again from the shotgun. Rifles this one, and that a very difficult pass to complete, and he got it there. McDessie on the reception for Allen. Brought down by Mike Brusco.
I'll tell you, Bernhard doing a nice job of getting that ball out there, and you know, they've done a good job of moving the ball up and down the field, but you're right, Mike, it's that last thing that needs to be consistent. It always gets out of their way.
Here's McDessie again, spinning out away from one would-be defender and inside the 20. Folger, the stop for Emmaus. Look at how quickly this team moving down the field. I mean, again, you know, Emmaus going to be in somewhat of a prevent to try and keep things underneath. But Bernhard, this one will fall incomplete. Again, intended for McDessie. Matt Ernie on the coverage for Emmaus. Next week's Friday night doubleheader will be Whitehall at Easton live at 7. Same night coverage 9:30 of Freedom and Parkland. Those are going to be 2 very good football games. Next Saturday, we'll have Lehigh University against Holy Cross. And with Holy Cross winning today and Lehigh winning today, that sets up a battle of 3-0 teams in the Patriot League. Bernhardt hit as he tries to get rid of it and throws yet another interception, this one by Matt Gray.
Hey, Matt Gray has had a heck of a ball game himself, Mike. We've talked and said his name a number of times tonight. 6'5", 215 senior. You'll see him right here as Bernhardt's getting stuck pretty bad right there by number 70, Brian Reese. That, you know, that ball just floats up there a little bit. Matt Gray goes up and gets it.
Well, Coach Surface talked about the play of Gray. They listed him as a starter offensively at tight end. He has seen an awful lot of action on the defensive end, and that young freshman Brian Reese was the guy who started it all with that good penetration, got the hit on Bernhardt. And here's Beers as a flag comes in late. Tackle by Kareem Adams.
Well, Mike, what happens here, though, is that the road isn't easier for either of these two teams, but it's a little bit nicer to go into practice next week coming off a victory from the week before. And Emmaus looks like it's well on its way right here at 31-7. But they got a lot of things in store for them next week, both teams. Facing two teams that are really peaking at the right time of the season in Allentown Central Catholic, as you saw this afternoon, and also Bethlehem Catholic, which has come back from that 1-2 start to just propel itself into the state rankings of, you know, everybody's favorite. Everybody you talk to, you know, says that, you know, now they're the real deal after that win over Altoona last week. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Well, and they're a program that continues to get healthy as the year goes on, and that becomes very important. This could be a fumble, and as is, so Allen will be the beneficiary here of a turnover. 31 points for Emmaus, representing a season high. They opened the year scoring 27 in a win at Pleasant Valley.
The Emmaus coaching staff a little bit upset right there with that call, but
the ball came out. Let's get another look. Let's see. Merle on the carry. Well, it looked like before his shoulder hit the ground, that ball had squirted out. Murray's take over on the 10. Bernhardt rolling right, throwing that way. If that's a catch, it's a beauty. No, Ortiz couldn't get his hands, or McDessie. They roll it incomplete.
McDessie gave it his best effort. You'll see right here is once again rolling to his right. Bernhardt getting that ball out there just a little bit too far, but McDessie, making a great extension of the body right there, but could not pull that pass in time. Official, nice job right there on the spot.
Good coverage by Sean Parr, forcing Bernhardt to throw that one a little wider than maybe he would have liked. Bernhardt again back to pass, looking to go over the middle. His man was covered, and the sack by Peter Capehart.
I see Bernhardt right there. You have to put that arm in some ice after this game, Mike. Been throwing an awful lot of footballs tonight.
How many passes for Bernhardt tonight? How many times has he thrown? 29 pass attempts for Michael Bernhardt. Third and goal. Ball now on the 12. Bernhardt back, hit as he releases this one. Intended for number 29, Fernandez.
I think that's Andrew Fick that's down in the end zone, Mike.
Had a shot there a moment ago of Keith Falco, athletic director Scott Cooperman. And that is Fick. Unseasonably warm night, unseasonably warm day. There's Scott Cooperman, of course, Keith Falco. It's a good combination right now here at this West Allentown school. Keith Falco, of course, at one time served as a freshman football coach here when Rich Snizak was the head coach. Keith Falco was working with the freshman football players, and I think the school district did a wonderful job in naming him their principal here. 11 turnovers in this football game. Yeah, we could start a bakery, huh? I gotta try, right? We've seen more turnovers here than are at Dunkin' Donuts. We'll see Andrew Fick. Hopefully okay. There's no laughing matter there. I don't mean to make.
Especially in the Fick family this time of year, as his brother, we just talked about earlier in the game, coming off of that injury a week ago.
Scored a couple of touchdowns last week in their win, if my memory serves me right,
yes.
from Raven. He's having a good year.
He's had a great year, Mike, because Timmy Barlock went down with a shoulder separation, finally came back today. But, you know, Josh Fick has been doing an outstanding job of filling in for Barlock and was setting some great numbers the past couple weeks.
I want to remember that Fick had a long touchdown run in a losing effort against Muhlenberg last year, or the year before, perhaps. 4th and goal from the 12, and his pass falls incomplete. And again, Bernhard under pressure from that Emmaus front line, so the Green Hornets will hold defensively and take over in control of this football game with 9:04 to go, leading 31-7. Hard to believe, Jim. We have 2 more weeks to the regular season, and we are in November. And I know every year we sit here and we say how fast the year has gone, and maybe it's because, you know, I had, you know, some ambassador playoff games early in the year, but this year has just flown by, and the weather has been fantastic. Knock on wood. Let's hope it stays that way.
I think that's been one of the biggest things that made it seem like it just kept going really, really quick on us. And you're right, Mike. You're down to the nitty-gritty time where the next 2 weeks are really going to determine where everybody's going to end up sitting. We just got done talking about all those playoff scenarios. And there's going to be there's going to be a sneaky thing to happen in those next 2 weeks somewhere along the line, and somebody's going to upset somebody and throw that whole thing off. But the way it looks right now, you have a couple teams in that quad A that are going to be battling each other right to the last week.
Yeah. No, we have 2 teams right in our local area that are getting big reviews in their respective classes. Of course, we talked about Pius at 10th, #1 ranked in single A. And we've had those Royals on a couple of times this year, and they are a quality football team. Eric Rath doing a great job. Frank Scagliano, one of the, you know, we talked, Rich Nizak and I were talking about the caliber of coaching in the Lehigh Valley earlier today. And Frank Scagliano belongs right in there with, you know, some of the big names. He has done a great job with that program. And then, of course, you turn your attention to the 4A, and you mentioned it earlier. Bethlehem Catholic, as good as any as they're in his state, knocking off unbeaten Altoona last week.
And they really, you know, not only knocked them off, Mike, I mean, they physically beat them, and that's the difference. And I think that was what happened. As you see a fumble right there, that's the thing that turned some of the people, I should say, who were thinking that Becca may not be as good as they were. But once that thing happened last week, I think that changed everybody's opinion.
Fumble recovery by Zeke Lane for Allen. We now have 12 turnovers in our bakery. We need a coffee pot. Sloppy game turned into a sloppy game, and it didn't start that way either. 2 teams had good emotion. Emmaus, of course, with the better, getting out to that 14-0 lead, but I think that end of the first half kind of set the tone for the second half, where we went 5 successive plays. If you missed it, 5 successive plays ran by these teams. We had 5 interceptions. I have never seen that. Bernhard, this pass ruled a completion to Mike Fernandez. Fernandez, a sophomore, one of the younger players in the program, 18 of them on their 46-team roster, 10 seniors, 17 juniors. Fernandez, a handful of catches coming into tonight's game. Quarterback sneak for Bernhard. Driving in.